What's up, everybody? This is your boy Gerald. It is 23rd of August, 2017. How is everybody doing? You're halfway through your work week, and I hope that wherever you are well. As you can see, there's been a lot of distractions these last couple weeks. It seems like the hornet's nest is stirred up, and not to take a page out of what's already been put out there, you're starting to see what's underlining in the swamp. And it's got a lot of people disturbed because they're not liking what has been hidden, what has been buried, what has been overlooked. But I see something totally different. I Someone asked if I had a Facebook, and I do. Just put my name up, you see. But I felt very passionate with the display these last couple weeks, and instead of taking a position of ignorance, denial, and condonement, I just opened my heart and wrote what I would want those who are going to come behind me so they would know exactly how I felt in this moment in time. Because guess what? The fact of the matter is, you will not get back yesterday. You will not get back these last few seconds. So it's very important that if you not or don't understand the importance of time management, that you start. But do not negate, ignore what is apparent, what is being shown to you right now. Because indirectly, you're going to have to make a choice. Yeah, I know. First of all, let me not be rude. Let me not be rude. Okay. See, when it comes to your life, there is no pick. There's no picking. You can't just say, I want to look at this, speak on that, but I want to act this way. That's what hypocrites do. That's what impulsive people do. And what ends up happening? Nothing. I repeat, nothing gets done. Just misguided, misdirected energy. Let's talk about your money. Because you already know that there's no benefit in being impulsive. So now more than ever, it is very important that you start critically thinking, being methodical in what you decide to do before you act on it. Just like words. Once they come from your sacred lips, you can't get them back. All you can do is react. And a lot of people are in a place of influx because they don't like what they see. I remember one time, historically, when Malcolm X used the statement of the chickens have come to roost. But you also know that roosters don't lay eggs. They produce them. So now it has become fashionable to have a position of division. There is a desire to booster up bravado, ego, pride. That's easy to do. It takes more courage to establish dialogue, to address what is broken, put effort in what needs to be fixed. Some things may take a lifetime to correct. And some, just the fact that you acknowledge its presence is all that is asked. But you know what's sad? Is there's a lot of people that have a certain perspective, a certain ideology that look just like you. Sooner or later, they will come to realize they have been deceived. That's right, you've been played, you've been manipulated. Just like as I use the analogy or the metaphor of chess. Chess is a game of strategy, is a game of thought, critically thinking. But guess what? We're talking about your life. So we can also agree that your environment is a mirror reflection of your state of mind. If you don't like your environment, you must first acknowledge what does not work. You must make a decision to tackle it. This is free will, family. This is the two spiritual gifts that was given to you the moment you took your first breath. The number one gift was unconditional love because he gave that to us. He loved you so much that you have a physical form. The second gift was free will. Should I go left? Should I go right? Should I stand still? Should I go forward? Should I just be? But see, that's the problem, family. A lot of people have chosen to just be and not grow. And that is why now, as you develop, mature, as time passes by, you are starting to see many people that are emotionally stuck. But the truth of the matter is, they're frightened. They're frightened. And because of pride and ego, it has become a dark cloud over who they really are. You know, that little boy, that little girl, that still exists in you to this day. It doesn't matter what that document says of date of birth. What is validated is the person inside you, what you stand for, or what you fall for. Now, here's the sad thing about it. Right now, there's a lot of people that are doing things, saying things, and they're doing it just for a response. Yes, we can easily say it's them, but guess what? 9 times out of 10, it's inside your home. Just listening to the dialogue, what is shared, what is condoned, especially if you are a parent. See, if the condonement starts at home, it's just a matter of time before it makes it to the streets. And that is what you're seeing right now, family. You're seeing a lot of people that are running to and fro just for false validation, only to be left picking up the pieces. Because the same people that are saying to you, no, we should unify and we should do this, if you sat down one on one and asked them, what is your purpose? They couldn't tell you because these people are reactionary. These people do not see priority in their lives. Now, I'm not trying to sound blunt. I'm not trying to sound disrespectful because truth is truth. And this is my truth. And you have yours. But shouldn't your truth be a reflection of who you are inside? Shouldn't your truth be an example of what you do every day when you get up, when you wash the coal out of your eyes and brush those pearly whites and step out into the world? Shouldn't that be an example of your truth? Meanwhile, there are those who are emotionally held hostage and they are actually reaping the benefits of your attention right now because they see that now it is cause of effect. It's cause and effect. So therefore, they say, well, if I can turn up here instead of turning up inside, you'll respond to it. No, I'm not saying to turn a blind eye. What I'm saying is don't condone it, which is hard to do, especially when you share a connection through blood and bone. Someone asked me, well, Gerald, be about how can I be about change in my community? Change in your community can never occur until you decide to change the person that's in the mirror looking back. Because see, that's the person that has the responsibilities of your dreams. That is the person that has the responsibility of your direction. That is the person that has to shoulder what is required to establish, define the true definition known as your legacy. If you're still going around thinking that all that matters to life is what's found in your pocket, I hate to tell you, you ain't living. You're just part of the system. And the reality is, you're just a marker in time. Because guess what? You can't take that with you. Sure, you can enjoy it. But as you enjoy that, you will also inherit the problems that come with it. So, you know how I mentioned some time ago, I said we are in the season of the ant and the grasshopper. While there's so much activity, the grasshopper is just jumping around, being seen, doing no preparation. But the seasons will change, and all that activity that has occurred will be accounted for. Meanwhile, the ant knows within itself work must be done, preparations must be made because change is coming. Now, you have a right to your opinion, to your emotion. But at the end of the day, as I've always echoed, you cannot make anyone do anything they don't want to do. So if you are accepting bad behavior, if you are accepting just another excuse, why are you complaining? Why are you complaining? So to go back, as I mentioned before, I wrote this letter talking about the social climate that is present right now, the distraction right now. And I explained that this is nothing but a social doorstop. You know what a doorstop is. That means you put it, you brace it, and it leaves the door cracked or open to however you wish it to be. Meanwhile, what is on the outside has access to what's inside. Therefore, both areas of exposure are affected. What are you allowing to have access to you? What are you dealing with right now? What is it going to take for you to claim your life back. Only you know this. Now, I understand there are going to be some people right now, you feel passionate and you want to do something. You want to do something? You focus on yourself. Be the exception to the rule, not the status quo. Because meanwhile, as you hear all the rhetoric that's going on, while you hear and see people put in platforms to represent a certain demographic in a town near you, in a community near you, in a city near you, in a state near you, let me tell you, those same people, excuse my French, do not give a damn about you. As they are banging the gong for attention, just look at what they stand for. Do they stand for fear? Because when you put the line down the middle for comparison, you will see the same thing. Both are impulsive. Both are misled. Both do not respect nor honor their legacy. So how can you show honor to your legacy when you don't show honor to yourself? Yes, I know there is strength in numbers, but trust when I tell you, if you were to fall down today, they would not be not one person to pick you up. They will walk right on you, keep it going. Because let's be honest, because I know there's a lot of people that are delusional. They have this perception of what life is, and they think that life should be like reality TV. But what you don't hear, what you don't see, is there are people using your life as if it was a video game. They watch, they laugh, and they maneuver. And they know that until you see your value and worth in your life, you're not a threat. Let that sink in. Because until you decide to let that sink in, your dreams are being held ransom. Until you decide to stop running from your life and emulating someone else who will not nor ever see the value of your existence, can your blessings be released? Some of y'all have been in a holding pattern for a very long time, and you've actually convinced yourself, this is just who I am, Gerald. Take it or leave it. This is who I am. You don't like it? Oh, well, this is who I am. But the truth of the matter is, you miserable. Your torment and pain has been nothing but corrosion to your self-esteem. You're supposed to believe that you're supposed to have the same outcome as your girlfriend. You think and believe that the rest of your days is supposed to be like your homeboy? No, that's because you're choosing that. Remember that gift? Free will. But the truth of the matter is, misery loves company. And while you're choosing to not look within, guess what? There are those that are using that as a flanking movement. And they're using that to no different than a little child having a tantrum in the middle of a department store. I'm going to give Johnny what he wants. And if I give Johnny what he wants, he'll be quiet. Maybe Johnny needed some correction. Maybe Johnny needs some guidance. Or maybe just Johnny wants to be acknowledged that he exists. Because usually that's all what it really is, family. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You ask somebody how they feel, what's going on with you, why do you react and respond in the manner that, guess what? They can't tell you. You know why? Because the pain is just right here. And they won't allow themselves to be vulnerable to themselves because they're afraid that they will be deemed weak. But what do you call not living your life? A tragedy? That's a combination of the word tragedy and travesty. Because until you decide to claim you back, you're living for someone else. Some people are literally laughing all the way to the bank. Now, here's the funny thing, too, because now there is a false sense of empowerment going on socially. But you'll come to understand the closer that you lean on God's will, you will see the cracks in the foundation. You will see the unsettlement in their direction. And what happens is all that does is bring them closer to their own demise, their own delay. And you know what's on the other side of that? Truth. And the truth is they are in pain. Because see, here's the thing. You got a lot of people basically walking around. Now, mind you, the lion is still in the brush. And he's sitting there. And he will never he won't take benefit or ownership of your destruction. Because you got to remember, when you were born, he already saw your lifeline. Some lifelines, all-out war was declared. Some lifelines, he knew he could manipulate. Some lifelines, he said, okay, bump in there right there, see how they respond. Remember Job? The conversation he had with Jesus? And he said, he is not as true as you say he is. And Jesus gave him opportunity. It's okay. I'll make you a believer too. And Job went through hell and high water. Everything of value, he lost. Down to his health. But it was in the last hour. And because his faith was strong, he could not be broken. And just like the barren fields that you drive by every day and you see nothing but dirt and debris, in the intended time and moment, it will be replenished with the harvest. The harvest is your life, family. It's always been your life. But until you decide to give a damn about you, guess what? Your environment is going to mirror that right back. Know why? To see how you're going to react. And let me make this clear. Excuse me. Right now, we're in the midst of a lot of demonic activity. The Jezebel spirit thinks she's winning because she's destroying families. Why you think we got an opioid epidemic? Hmm? Right. Anything to destroy that sacred temple called your body. Go ahead. As I mentioned before, the 7 deadly sins, we are in the midst of gluttony. That's why when you hear people say, be careful what you ask for, you just might get it. Maybe you should just say no. Because no doesn't mean forever, it means under review. Because people respond how you want them to. But let's make this clear. Not everybody's supposed to have access to you. Not everybody's going to earn the right to hear you breathe. Not everybody's going to be able to know your story. You know that little hash mark between your birth and death date? That's your life. It's short, ain't it? So while you are in, thank you, Father. Thank you. I felt it in my spirit just now. God saying, what you're witnessing with all these protests and acting out is no different than what Moses saw when the children of Israel marched around the mountain. You know, so a lot of people didn't make it around that mountain for those 40 years. A lot of people died. But you know what also happened for those who did make it? It changed the way they thought. That's why you hear the metaphor, old habits die slow. Death and love can't be in the same place. So you got to make a choice. Who do you serve? Because see, I understand. Right now they think fear, negativity thinks it's winning. It is smeared all over the media, here, here, and wherever and whatever needed to go here. You know, that sacred, you know, endless possibilities, your mind. You know, if I have your attention for a period of time, that's great. Seed within your mind, it's just a matter of time before it sprouts. And that's what they're doing. They're using your fear to get you to act. Don't act. Because people that act only play themselves. Who am I talking to? Some of y'all may be feeling like you're spinning your wheels in your life, you know? And when you finally realize if you take your foot off the brake, you'll go forward. But to go forward, that means you're going to leave your environment behind. That means that you have to come to terms that there are those that you have connections with, associations with, fellowships with, that cannot go where you're going. Did you hear what I said? So when you decide to embrace who you are. You know, intimacy. Into me, I see. You'll see your truth. You already know what you need, and you'll be able to step through the distractions to finally embrace what was rightfully yours. It's your life, family. There's only one. It just depends on when you decide to claim it. So I'm about to wrap this up. I think this is kind of funny, family, because I mentioned in that letter, that this was going to be a slippery slope because we are in the era where our babies do not understand for whence they came. They do not see the value in their history. But what's sad is you're preparing for those who will come behind you to not know their story. That's what's disrespectful. And until we see things as it should, guess what? The people that don't give a damn about you, yeah, I'm being real. You're gonna get nothing but love and a blessing from me. There are people that don't care. They see your life as a decimal point. As long as you don't know how to think for yourself, they know that you won't see the value of your life. It doesn't matter who you rub elbows with. It doesn't matter who you lay next to. It doesn't matter where you reside. Your truth will still be there. Meanwhile, you have those right now that are trying to undermine the fabric of your nation. They feel now that I have enough platform that if I yell hard enough and loud enough, they'll give me what I want, like a pacifier to a screaming baby. But yet, there's no loyalty to themselves. Listen, there are going to come times in your life that you're going to have to walk by yourself. This is not punishment. This is preparation. And the benefit out of that is this. Your clarity will come. Your insight will be given. And you will see exactly what is before you. You have to make a choice to let it breathe or let it alone. God's praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, it helps me discern mine. I find it really disrespectful, you know, if we want to talk about passion, why isn't anybody doing anything about preparation for our kids' education? Huh? Why aren't we marching for that? Hmm? Why aren't we unifying when it comes to the crime in our communities? What about that? Oh, why? Because we're related to somebody that's the choice they make. Oh, all right. So they don't give a damn about you. Why you complain? And trust when I tell you this. It doesn't matter if you wear $1,000 suit or a pair of jeans. Your number one priority should be your legacy and your family, protecting your babies, ensuring that they're prepared for this vicious world out here. You only have a short time to do it, family, believe it or not, because we don't live forever. But don't complain if you're not doing the work. And I will say this too, because I had a conversation last night at work with several of my coworkers, and one guy was feeling a certain kind of way because the fact that, you know, he's not with his child's mom anymore, and she's living her life, and there's someone there, and he feels a certain kind of way. And I flat out told him, I said, why you complaining? This man is doing what you ain't doing. You need to thank him. Because the fact of the matter is, there's a short line of men that will step up to take on your responsibility. But there's even a shorter line of men that believe in God. You are what you attract. Stop fooling yourself if you think otherwise. But if you don't like what's going on outside your door, maybe now's the time that you finally have that conversation with God. Be blessed.